This is TechCrunch.
The use of 3D printing has been praised as an alternative to traditional construction. It promises to deliver faster construction times, creative design, and fewer construction errors, all while reducing carbon footprints. New research out of MIT points to a compelling new take on the concept, relying on 3D printed glass blocks shaped like a figure eight that snap together like Legos. The team points to glass optical properties and its infinite recyclability as reasons for turning to the material. As long as it's not contaminated, you can recycle glass almost infinitely, says mechanical engineering assistant professor Caitlin Becker. The team relied on 3D printers designed by Evenline, itself an MIT spin-off. Robotic exoskeletons are an increasingly popular method for assisting human labor in the workplace. Those that specifically support the back, however, can result in bad lifting form by the wearer. To combat this, researchers at the University of Michigan have built a pair of robot knee exoskeletons using commercially available drone motors and knee braces. Rather than directly bracing the back and giving up on proper lifting form, professor Robert Gregg notes we strengthened the legs to maintain it. Test subjects were required to move a 30-pound kettlebell up and down a flight of stairs. Researchers note that the tech helped them maintain good lifting form while lifting more quickly. A New York Times article Thursday highlighted a lucrative side hustle that is emblematic of the times we live in: gaming algorithms to earn money. In this case, folks figured out they could maximize the payout from Lyft's Citibike Bike Angels program by taking advantage of a company algorithm used to meet its supply and demand needs. The practice of station flipping, when one or more bike angels move docked Citibikes to a nearby empty station, waited 15 minutes, and then move them back, was quashed over the summer, according to Lyft. The company sent an email to the offenders reminding them that earning Bike Angel points through station flipping went against the spirit of the program. Continued instances of station flipping could result in removal from the Bike Angels program, the email read. The practice lasted long enough, however, for some Bike Angels to earn thousands of dollars every month. Indian filmmaker Ram Gopal Varma is ditching human musicians for artificial intelligence, saying he'll use only AI-generated tunes in future projects, a move that underscores AI's growing reach in creative industries. The filmmaker and screenwriter, known for popular Bollywood movies such as Company, Rangila, Sarkar, and Satya, has launched a venture called RGV Den Music, which will only feature music generated from AI apps, including Suno and Udio, he told TechCrunch. Varma said he will use the AI-generated music in all his projects, including movies. The entire background score on his new feature movie, Sorry, is also AI-generated, he said. In an interview, Varma urged artists to embrace AI rather than resist it. Eventually, the music comes from your thoughts. You need to have clarity on what you want the app to produce. It's the taste that will matter, he said. The director's move comes as AI continues to make inroads into creative industries, prompting both excitement over new possibilities and concern about potential job losses. Many high-profile directors, including Oscar winner Christopher Nolan, have cautioned against over-reliance on AI, asserting that it cannot replace human intuition in artistic creation. India leads the world in film production, churning out between 1,500 and 2,000 movies annually. Its music industry is equally prolific, releasing a staggering 20,000 to 25,000 songs annually. Varma criticized composers for frequent deadline misses and scheduling conflicts, while accusing lyricists of failing to capture the essence of songs. He argued that these human factors often impede the creative process, making music production both time-consuming and costly. AI, he argues, delivers instantly at zero cost. Human musicians, composers, lyricists, and singers will be vastly affected and then completely disappear in the near future, as the apps keep developing at a rapid pace, he predicted. Varma said he was working with startups Reclaim Protocol and Story Protocol to secure the IP of his AI-generated songs using cryptographic proofs. He said many of his filmmaker friends and others in the industry are also excited about the potential of AI, and he anticipates the technology to make further inroads into the Indian movie industry in the coming years. Cruise is returning to the streets of Sunnyvale and Mountain View for the first time since it paused operations in the Bay Area after a robotaxi struck a pedestrian in October 2023. The company said Thursday that it will put several vehicles driven by humans in the two cities that will initially perform mapping. The company said it hopes to progress to supervised AV testing of up to 5 robotaxis later this fall. Resuming testing in the Bay Area is an important step forward as we continue to work closely with California regulators and local stakeholders, the company said in a post on X. This will allow our local employees to engage directly with our product as they refine and improve our tech through R&D. The decision to bring Cruise's autonomous Chevy Bolts back to the Bay Area comes just a few months after the company reached a settlement with California's Public Utilities Commission. As part of that deal, Cruise paid a $112,500 fine for failing to provide full information about the October 2023 crash. That crash, which involved a Cruise AV hitting and then dragging a pedestrian after she was struck by a human-driven car, kicked off a series of events that ultimately led to a restructuring of the robotaxi company. Shortly after the crash, Cruise divorced itself from much of its leadership team, including co-founder and CEO Kyle Vogt. Parent company General Motors installed new leadership and, this past June, plugged another $850 million into the robotaxi subsidiary. Cruise also settled with a pedestrian earlier this year. Since June, Cruise slowly returned its AVs to the streets of Phoenix and Dallas and simultaneously scrapped its purpose-built robotaxi known as the Origin. Cruise also issued a series of software updates to resolve a recall of its robotaxis, and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration closed a probe into reports of braking problems. In August, Cruise announced that it had signed a multi-year partnership agreement with Uber to bring its robotaxis to the ride-hailing platform in 2025, joining rival Waymo, which has had its robotaxis available on Uber's platform since 2023. That's all for now. For more stories like this one, visit TechCrunch.com.